to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Mumbi Spirituals. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are extremely well in all your ways and that you're moving into your resurrected self, that you're moving into this new you that has overcome so much, that has closed out the previous book of life with the previous dispensation, and that is excited and joyful and anticipating a bright new dawn, which is what is ahead of us. This show, family, is sponsored by Beverly B Music. She is an ancient sound healer, and she actually offers 2 free ancient sound healing sessions every Thursday and Friday from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on her YouTube channel at Beverly B Music, and as well as on Clubhouse at Beverly B Music as well. And family, she does actually have music that she uploads every single day during the week, but that tends to be more like ocean sounds, very healing, ocean sounds, and beautiful just sounds of nature and stuff like that. So definitely check it out, because we really, as we elevate, we have to elevate even how we're healing ourselves, how we're resurrecting ourselves. As I said, family, a lot of us died and were born again in these bodies. So it's like we're transitioning into a new life. So definitely check her out. I wanted to talk today about the importance of frequency and the importance of your frequency, family, and maintaining your frequency, or at least doing the necessary healing work. Because for the last 3-4 years, my message has been one and the same. Put your healing first. Reconcile what has happened to you in your life. Forgive those who have trespassed against you. And remember, forgiveness is not about letting people get away with what they did to you, but it's sitting back and reflecting on the series of events that could have led to you being abused as a child, you being molested as a child, you being in an abusive marriage, whatever the situation, being betrayed, being taken advantage of. It's over in an understanding the person's mindset, not making excuses for them, but really over in an understanding where they were coming from. And as that understanding is, inculcated into your mindset, family, you're able to say, okay, they did this because of A, B, C, D, and you reconcile that. You heal that in your own self. A lot of healing comes through understanding, understanding, and overstanding. A lot of healing comes through you retelling yourself that story, but not through the eyes of when that abuse happened, whether it was when you were a child, a teenager, when you were a broken adult, whatever, but through now, the perspective that you have now, the lens that you have now, which is a true gift. And you're able to now release the pain and the body memory and the negative parts of that from your body, from your soul, from your spirit. And a lot of disease, family, a lot of growths, tumors, cancers, high blood pressures, and all these things come because of that lack of forgiveness. And so those things have not been released from us. Those events have not been released from us, but are actually being held in a certain part of our body or in another certain part of our body. Because the purpose of any abuse you received, family, and this is especially for the chosen ones and the ancient ones who are here to be part of this new dispensation, and who came at such a time as this, who chose to come at such a time as this, to anchor in a higher mind, a more sophisticated way of thinking, a more sophisticated way of loving, a more sophisticated way of interacting and being. That is why we came. We came from another frequency, family. We came from a higher mind, a higher frequency, and we were supposed to anchor in that higher frequency here on, on Mama Earth, on the motherland. But through the trauma and the abuse, which created all kinds of shame, self-hate, self-loathing, anguish, pain, all of that totally altered our frequency. It totally took us from the realm of heaven into a realm of hell, because everything is mind and heart, family. Your thoughts and your emotions are manifesting your experience and your reality and your existence. It is all a narrative. It is all about the story. It is all about the life story. And there was a certain life story that you were coming to experience and to live out and to create through your mind and heart. Although a lot of us were aware when we were being born, because I've told you guys before that before you come here, there's usually a blueprint on your life. Where you pick the certain experiences, you pick certain major relationships. And there is a karmic cycle where in a previous life, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So a lot of us who are chosen, this is not our first rodeo. We've been here many times before, but every time you come, there are those that you cross. There are those that you interact with in a positive way. There are those that you interact with in a negative way. And usually those that you interact with in a negative way, you will create a situation where it's like you withdraw energy from them. Through your fights or whatever negative interaction you had, you negatively withdrew energy from them. And in the next life or in your next reincarnation, you will have to return that energy to them. So if you took away someone's joy, if you took away someone's mental health, if you took away someone's peace, you have incurred a debt to that person. And in their next reincarnation, when they decide to come and experience this human life again, you will have to, when you come back, when you reincarnate, family, and you happen to be in the same life as that person, you will have a debt to that person. And you will find yourself either being a worker to that person. You will have to give your energy to that person, either to help that person be wealthy, to help that person build their empire, to help that person in whatever way, family, in whatever way, shape or form. You will have to give back that energy. But in this particular season, family, in this lifetime, when we were jumping from one experience to another, some of the families, some of the difficult relationships that we decided to be born into was in order to settle these debts, to return energy that we may have taken from others in previous lives. And that's why it was like back to back intense situations. But what happened is, family, that a lot of the families, a lot of the agreements that we had to return energy to people, maybe because we had crossed them in the previous life, they ended a long time ago. But these people took us back into another karmic cycle by abusing the fact that we had to return energy to them, the fact that we had to now be their children or be their servants or be their workers or be subservient under them. They abused that and they pulled us into a new karmic cycle. But a lot of us, family, decided no, especially with this thing of us not dying physically, but transitioning, dying to a previous book of life, dying to that old character and being born again. A lot of us decided, no, we don't want to keep having to encounter this person every single life. And in fact, we would rather find, I hope that noise is not, it's really distracting me, family. I hope it's not interfering with the message. But a lot of us decided that we would rather, instead of us having to meet those people again and then have them indebted to us and have them have to be in our lives as servants, as helpers, as whatever situation, that we would rather just end that cycle here and now. And the only way we are able to do that, so we don't encounter some of these other characters in this life, in this new dispensation that we're living, was for us to forgive them by coming to an understanding of what had happened, of what was taken from us. And the truth always makes you free. So in that understanding, in that knowledge of, working through it, healing ourselves, understanding why we were in that abusive dynamic with our parents or with our siblings or with our husbands or with our wives or with our co-workers, in and understanding that, we were able to make peace with that. And by making peace with that family, the energy that they took from us, that they would now have to give to us in another life, was just naturally released. And that energy returned to us, and we were able to achieve a new elevation. So we weren't broken for the rest of our lives. We did not develop sicknesses and illnesses from being out of balance, from having our energy taken from us, from being in lack. But instead, we forgave by in and understanding why it happened. And in our forgiveness, we were able to return to our original frequency. And all that was taken, all that energy that was taken without our consent, without our permission, or even sometimes in our ignorance, was transferred back to us. And so there are certain people that we will never, there are certain spirits, there are certain energies that we will never, ever, 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 ever encounter again. This is the conclusion. This is the grand finale. This is it, family. And we give thanks and praise to the Most High, to the ancestors, to Mama Gaia, to the entire spiritual cosmos that has enabled us to really release certain things, family. Because being connected and wanting our energy back from certain people, and had we not figured out this loophole, would mean that these low-vibing people would still have access to us, even as we move from one heaven to another heaven, to the cosmos, to the universe, and live a whole other life that is way beyond this life of lack and competition and envy and jealousy. Those are such small time experiences that we don't want to have anymore. And so that's why I say, family, in these seasons and times, make your healing your number one priority. Make your relearning your number one activity. Whenever you have free time, work on forgiving, releasing, so that you can get back all that belongs to you. And you can use that to create your new dispensation. Anyway, special shout out to the sponsor of today's show, Beverly B Music, family. And she has actually started a shorts channel, Beverly B Inspired. So definitely check it out, family. All the links are going to be in the description below. And remember that she does a free ancient sound healing sessions every Thursday and every Friday from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, family. And if you want to advertise on the Dr. Mumbi Show, definitely reach out, mumbi.saraki@gmail.com. Until next time, family. Tuko pamoja.